Every conversation you have ever had was two conversations simultaneously. The one made of words, and the one made of everything else. The slight shift in posture at a particular moment. The micro-expression that crossed someone's face for a fraction of a second before they composed themselves. The way a person's breathing changed when a certain subject came up. The distance they maintained, the direction their feet pointed when they said they wanted to stay. The verbal conversation is the surface. The silent one is the truth. And most people, moving through their entire lives reading only the surface, are missing the majority of what is actually being communicated in every human interaction they have. Research consistently shows that between 70 and 93% of human communication is nonverbal. Not words. Tone, rhythm, pace, facial expression, gesture, posture, proximity, eye contact and its absence. Words are the smallest part of what passes between two people. And yet, we spend almost all of our attention in education, in culture, in the way we are taught to process interactions, focused on the words. Which means we are navigating human relationships largely blind to the language most richly describing what is actually being communicated. Let's begin with micro-expressions. In the 1960s, psychologist Paul Ekman began studying facial expressions across cultures. He wanted to know whether emotional expression was learned, culturally specific, or universal. What he found was remarkable. 7 core emotions: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, disgust, contempt, and surprise produce the same facial expressions in every human culture on Earth, without exception, without cross-cultural exposure. Indigenous communities with no contact with Western media showed the same facial movements in response to the same emotional stimuli as people in New York or Tokyo. These expressions are hardwired. They are biological. And here is what makes them significant in daily life. Before the conscious mind can intervene, before social training, politeness, or self-management can apply the appropriate mask, the face tells the truth. For a fraction of a second, sometimes as brief as 1/25th of a second, a micro-expression. Gone almost as soon as it appeared, but registered subconsciously, even when consciously missed, by the nervous systems of everyone present. This is why you sometimes leave a conversation with a feeling you cannot fully explain. A sense that something was slightly off, that what was said and what was meant were not the same thing. You caught a micro-expression. Your conscious mind missed it. Your nervous system did not. Now let's talk about the body, because it holds truths the face sometimes learns to manage. The feet, for instance, are the least consciously managed part of the human body. When people become skilled at controlling their facial expression, at maintaining composure under scrutiny, the feet often remain unguarded. They point toward what we actually want, toward the exit when we want to leave, toward the person we are genuinely interested in, even when our words are directed elsewhere. The body does not perform consistently. It leaks. And the leakage, the crossed arms that appear when a specific topic is raised, the self-soothing gesture of touching the neck when anxiety rises, the slight backward lean when a person says yes while meaning no, is the most honest communication in the room. There is something called mirroring, and it is one of the most revealing signals in human interaction. When two people are genuinely connected, when rapport is real and the exchange is authentic, their bodies begin to synchronize without instruction. They match each other's posture, their gestures align, their breathing finds a similar rhythm. This happens automatically, below awareness. It is the mirror neuron system we explored in an earlier video, expressing itself physically in real time. And it means that genuine rapport has a visible signature. When you learn to look for it, in your own body and in the bodies of others, you gain information about the quality of a connection that no amount of pleasant words can manufacture. Because mirroring cannot be effectively faked for a sustained period. Eventually, the body returns to its own rhythm, and the absence of synchrony in a relationship that claims closeness is something worth paying attention to. Here is how this becomes practically significant in your actual life. You are in a conversation with someone who is telling you everything is fine, but their jaw is slightly tight. Their shoulders have risen almost imperceptibly. They are holding their breath in the pauses between sentences. Their words are saying fine. Their body is in a state of tension. They are not fine. Or, someone tells you they are happy for your success, and for a fraction of a second, something passes across their face before the smile arrives. Your nervous system registered it. Your social conditioning told you to ignore it and accept the words. The question is which signal you choose to trust. Learning to read these signals is not about becoming suspicious. It is not about analyzing everyone around you with clinical detachment. It is about developing what might be the most important social skill available: presence. Full, attentive, genuinely curious presence with another human being, where you are receiving not just their words, but their whole communication. Where the slight catch in their voice when they mention something matters to you. Where the way their energy changes in certain conversations is information you are willing to hold. Where you are listening not just with your ears, but with your entire nervous system. This is how the most deeply connected people in the world communicate. Not with better words, with deeper attention. Press subscribe and keep the bell icon on. What comes next in this series is the piece that ties together self-trust, body language, emotional intelligence, and every pattern we've explored into a single, practical, quietly life-changing understanding. How to make decisions, not the way you've been taught, through analysis, comparison, and the management of risk, but through a way of knowing that is faster, more accurate, and more deeply aligned with who you actually are than any spreadsheet or strategy session could ever be. The next video is the one that makes every other one in this series more useful.